In this session we're going to look at some more advanced move operations using directories. If you've not already done so, then ensure that your current working directory is the root of the M03L09 working copy. In this first command we're going to move the new copy.txt to copy.dir. Looking at our working copy, we can see that copy.dir exists. So as you'll recall from the previous sessions, doing a move operation where the target already exists is essentially a move into rather than a move to. What we're asking for here is for the new copy.txt file to be moved into the copy.dir directory. And sure enough, that's what we get. We get two operations scheduled: the addition of the new copy.txt within the copy.dir directory and the deletion of the source new copy.txt. To undo the effects of this move operation, we need to do two things. We first of all need to use the svn revert command to undo the two scheduled actions. In this case, I'm using svn revert with two paths, the new copy.txt and the copy.dir new copy.txt. This removes the effect of the add and the scheduled deletion. I then use the operating system delete command to remove the new copy.txt. If you recall, reverting an addition within the working copy only undoes the action, it does not remove the file. Undoing the deletion, of course, restored new copy.txt to our working copy. So you can see in the example on the right, the working copy is now being restored to our starting state. This next example shows the same move command, but this time we're explicitly specifying the target file name. Previously, we relied on the move operation's default behavior that when the target directory exists within the working copy, it acts as a move into. In this case, we're using the move command, but we're explicitly specifying the target file name. So, the effect of this command is precisely the same as the preceding example. We get the addition of copy.dir new copy.txt and the deletion of the source new copy.txt. Again, we undo the command in the same way. We revert the two scheduled actions and then delete the copied file. In this example, I'm again using a specific name target. But this time I'm using a different target file name. This time I'm specifying a new copy.txt. Like the previous example, we're copying to a non-existent target. The a new copy.txt doesn't exist, so the move operation acts as a copy to. As expected, we get the two actions, the add and the delete. The reason for going through these exercises is twofold. First of all, if you know that the target directory exists and you simply want to move a file into the new directory, the safest way to do it is simply to use the move, specifying the source file name and the target directory name, and let the move command determine the name of the file in the target directory, because it will simply use the source file name. If you get in the habit of specifying the target file name explicitly, there's always the possibility that you'll make a spelling mistake, and besides, it's an awful lot more typing. Okay, let's commit this change to the repository. Taking a listing of the contents of the repository and specifying depth infinity so that we get all the directories shown recursively, you can look down here and see that in copy.dir there is indeed a new copy.txt that's been created by that previous move command. Furthermore, you can see that new copy.txt at the top level no longer exists. We can also use the move command to move files into non-existent directory structures. To illustrate this, first do a directory of the copy.dir. You'll notice in this copy.dir that there is no moved subdirectory. In this next move command, we're going to move the file1.txt into the new moved subdirectory within copy.dir. In order to have this intermediate directory created, we'll use the parents option. For details of the ins and outs of using the parents option, you can refer back to the session on copying elements. It works exactly the same way. Looking at the output of the command, you can see that the copy.dir move directory was created and scheduled for addition, and then the file1.txt was added, then the original file1.txt was deleted. Checking the status of our working copy now reveals that we've got 3 scheduled operations. The addition of the copy dir moved, which was prompted by the parents option. The addition with history of the file1.txt within moved, this was prompted by the move operation, plus the third operation, which is the deletion of file1.txt. That's the original file that we asked to be moved. And confirming that the copy dir has been correctly populated, we take a directory listing, and there's the new moved subdirectory. And looking inside the moved subdirectory, we see the file1.txt that we've just relocated. And again, committing those 3 scheduled operations affects our repository and performs the move and the creation of the moved subdirectory exactly as it did when we were looking at our working copy. This next illustration is going to take the existing new copy dir, which can be seen in the working copy illustration over to the right, and move it, or if you prefer rename it, to be moved dir. So we're going to use the svn move command, and we're going to specify the source to be new copy dir, and the target to be moved dir. The output of the command shows a lot of activity. First of all, we've got an addition of moved dir. Secondly, we've got not only the deletion of the new copy dir, but all of the directories and subdirectories that it contains. This is consistent with when we do the svn delete of a directory. If you're uncertain about deleting directories, then by all means refer back to the earlier sessions where we dealt with this. Doing a directory listing of moved dir reveals that the directory has been moved with its contents intact. Committing these scheduled operations will update our repository. Using the subversion list command again, we can confirm the actions that have taken effect. Again, we're using the -r head to ensure we get the most recent version within the repository, and we're using depth infinity to report the directories and all their subdirectories. The thing we're looking for, of course, is the move dir, and there it is about halfway down. In this next example, we're moving the moved dir, the directory we've just created, into force_me. However, unlike the previous example, the force_me directory already exists in our working copy and is a version controlled directory. If you recall from the previous sessions, when a move operation or a copy operation are performed and the target is a directory that already exists, the move or copy operation behave as a move or copy into the target directory. So, performing this operation, we can see the addition of force_me moved dir, which is exactly what we expected, the copy into operation. And of course the move dir and its contents are scheduled for deletion. The status command confirms that our working copy has been updated, and we've got an add with history for the force_me moved dir and scheduled deletions for all the moved dir's contents. Looking at a directory listing of the previously empty force_me reveals that we've now got moved dir in it. Committing these operations once again updates our repository. And a subversion list command on the repository reveals that our moved directory has now been deleted, and we have a new directory within force_me called moved dir. Looking at the now rather tangled history of this moved dir, we can see that revision 33 contains the addition of the moved dir to the force_me directory as a copy from trunk moved dir at revision 32. This is accompanied by the deletion of the original moved dir, so we know that this is a move. Looking back at revision 32, we can see that the original moved dir was created by copying from trunk new copy dir from revision 26. And again, this new copy dir was deleted, telling us that this was a move operation. Looking back at revision 26, we can see that the new copy dir was created by a straightforward copy operation, since there's no accompanying deletion, and this copy operation copied from the copy dir at revision 22. So we can see that Subversion keeps quite close track of all of these copies and moves on our behalf.